As you just heard, we're going to be doing some Poulenc, who some of you are all too familiar with from doing the Gloria last semester, but just a little bit about this piece. Poulenc, one of his musical signatures is that he can take a traditional form and through a use of very extreme dissonance, kind of transform it into something new and different. And Vinea, Electa is not an exception to the rule. It's a motet written for the season of Lent. So it's very dark and it has this very heavy atmosphere. The text is about Christ's pain and the betrayal that he feels when his people that he's chosen are crying for him to be crucified. And so it's about that internal pain of the Christ figure on Good Friday. And Poulenc uses a lot of musical symbolism in this piece, but I want to direct your attention to just one point in particular. Again, we've got this very heavy, dark text, but as you'll notice when we sing through it, he ends this piece that's mostly in a minor key. His minor is very slow, but he ends this piece on a major chord, which seems really out of place. But what he's doing is he's giving you this little ray of light, and is saying, this is not the end. Easter is coming. In 3 days, the light is going to shine through the darkness. So he leaves you with that little bit of hope, and I want you to remember that. So now that you know a little bit about the piece, we're going to start looking at it. Who can tell me what key we're in? There's 7 sharps. C sharp what? C sharp major. Right. Okay, so what are some things that we have to be careful of in C sharp major? Any weird accidentals, anything? Yes, here.
Possibly trying to make sure we're not modulating into C, the key that I was singing, or maybe.
Okay, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I think it's weird just because there's a B sharp and you don't ever sing B sharp.
Right, there's a B sharp and there's an E sharp. So take a quick look at that first page. You want to make sure you're remembering that those notes are sharp so that you don't sing minor intervals when you need to be singing major intervals, because that will really change the piece. So, now that we've kind of established that, once again, I would like you to remember to stop the talk when you rehearse. But first, we're going to get this rhythm down at the very beginning. So, if you would all look up at me and at your score at the same time, too loud. No, please look at your score, but we're just going to clap this rhythm together. So, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, 2, 4, 5, good. Okay, so now you've got the rhythm. The second thing that I want to focus on is the arc of the phrase. So we're going to sing on a neutral pitch and a neutral syllable, and I want you to...
Amber.
Yeah.
Passive for a long time. Get right to it.
Okay.
What instructions, notes, and rhythms. They got the rhythm, instruction. Where are they starting and who's singing what?
Okay. First page, first note. You're already singing a C sharp. Can you sing C sharp, please? Okay, and I want there to be an arc that ends on a 5th beat and then tapers off. That's your silhouette. So it's going to go up and down. Ready, and D. I'm sorry, stop. Neutral syllable D. That's what you're going to be singing on. 1, 2, ready, and
So then we're going to jump in here, I talked all about the rehearsal plans today. Arc comes after notes. Notes and rhythms, notes and rhythms. So that's what the mantra was, that's what we get. So they're not even clear on the instruction because it's too soon for that. Let's have them try to sing their parts in those 2 measures. You've talked about which notes are to watch for because they're sharp and they're not normally. Let's get at those notes then.
Awesome. All right. Will you do them all the pitches? Notes, bases, and outs that you guys are split. Pitches one more time. I'm sorry. I was
Let's have the second soprano sang the first alto part. Unless you're just the women, that part was actually lost completely. Maybe all the women on the first alto part?
Okay. Yeah. All the women, first alto part, neutral syllable D. Ready, and... That was much more solid. So second sopranos, will you keep singing the first alto line? And then we're going to try that all together again one more time, and then we'll move on. Ready? Thank you. Okay, thank you. That sounded much better than it did the first time. So now, if you will turn with me to page 5. I'm sorry, I did not mean page 5. Page 6. And if you'll notice on the second system, that's a repetition of all of that thematic material that we just read through. So you already know that part. Okay. Skip ahead real quick to page 7, first system, first measure. You see those little notes? Don't be confused by those. Those are for the English translation that is underneath the text. So when you're singing for the rest of this piece, make sure you're looking at the larger notes, not the little notes. So
What would
just
you
quick
like
notes.
them to sing next?
We are going to start right at page 7, that first system. Right where we're talking about it. Second, sopranos, please still stay on the alto part. And we're just going to read through right there. Just please. Good. I want to look at where the basses split really fast. So basses, I'm just going to put you guys together so I can hear what you're doing.
Why do you need
Because they have a split part and I didn't hear the second bass.
I think we should move ahead. We're kind of in inertia, so if we're going to get you to be able to have a passage that's put together, let's go to the next part that's Shannon.
Okay, then we're going to skip ahead to the polyphonic section. Page 7, second system. We are going to start by everybody singing the soprano part. Men, you can sing down the octave. And actually, altos, you sing down the octave too, unless you really want to try that high G sharp, but you don't have to. So, notice this in 7/4. Ready, and... Now we're all going to sing the alto line. Notice the downward motion. Again, men, you can go down the octave. Ready? Thank you. And. Thank you. Back. Now we're going to look at the tenor part. Notice that instead of going down, the tenor part is going up. So they have this opposition with the altos.
Henry, you might want to point out, in addition to the meter having changed, something else fairly significant changed. Right where you were listening to it?
This is where it changes to C sharp minor. So we're no longer looking for those E sharps and those D sharps. They are now natural. So this is also a quick note in the text.
And so when everybody just sang the alto part, they had a little trouble because it's supposed to be A natural and not A sharp. So I'd listen to them sing that again.
Okay, sure. And 1. Good. That was much better. I heard that. B sharp, C sharp. Anyway, we're going to move on because I can't. Tenor part. Again, it's moving up. You have those naturalized E's and B's. Again, so everyone on the tenor part, women, you can sing up the octave if you need to. I don't think you should do that. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Good. How about the 8-second bar?